Morning, Cal. Thanks for joining us. It's a bit strange reverting back to doing this type of stuff over Zoom, but today's weather obviously gives us no other option. Start this interview where we would normally do, reflecting back on last Saturday's cup win. First and foremost, the most important thing that we were into the hat for the next round.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing about cup football, isn't it? That you're just into the next round. That's all that matters. Sometimes performances might not be where you want them to be, but as long as you've got into that next round, then really that's all that matters. And for parts of that game, we didn't perform the way we wanted to, but credit to the boys and credit to everyone involved that we managed to turn what was looking like an increasingly dire situation, in that second half into something much better, and we've gone on and got ourselves a good tie in the next round.
Yeah, what was the reaction within the squad to that one? Because it's obviously a huge ask for us to go to Ibrox and do anything but an exciting prospect to give us that challenge.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I think we all just take from it. It's a cup game. Anything can happen in cup games. You can turn up and you can, if everyone plays, out the skin, what can happen. And
Mm.
I think it's exciting for a lot of the boys because it's an experience that a lot won't have had before, going to a stadium and playing in front of a crowd that size. Especially with a lot of the younger boys within the squad, as we know it is a young squad. So hopefully, what they had, 36,000 at the Fraser game in the last round. If we're playing in front of that kind of crowd, I think that's what everyone wants. That's what everyone aspires to be doing. And I think it's really exciting for everyone. And I know the boys are really looking forward to it. So hopefully we can go give a good account of both ourselves and the club.
And important now that we parked that because it's obviously a few weeks away and thoughts now turn to what is a big week for the club, starting with Morton at Hampden.
Yeah, it's a massive game for the club. We know what the gap below us and the gap above us. It's tight. It's the championship, so we've got to make sure that we're getting results and we're putting pressure on those above us, as well as making sure we're pulling away from those below us. I think so. It's a massive game again, and everybody knows how good a Morton team they are, and how well they've been doing. Obviously, they've not had a game in a month, but
Yeah.
prior to that, I'm pretty sure they were probably the form team in the league. Getting player of the month, manager of the month at their side. So, it's going to be a very difficult game, but hopefully we can, give a good account of ourselves and take that momentum into another cup game on Tuesday.
And I'm sure as part of that backline, there'll have been a frustration in the manner in which we lost last week's goals. Certainly need to be better at the back tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that was a really frustrating part of us because we highlighted, dangers in that Montrose team, and where the two goals came from was essentially the main threat that we highlighted. But in football, sometimes it's not just black and white like that. It is very difficult at times. You come against good players, and sometimes it is hard to stop them. But from a team, the two games before that, the Livingston, the Falkirk games in the league, we've defensively been really, really solid. Two clean sheets. So, as I said, cup games can sometimes be looked at in isolation.
Yeah.
So we can take the equation, we can get back to this league form, and hopefully, defensively, we can all as a team put in a good shift, and hopefully, get a third clean sheet in a row in the league, because that would be a good achievement for us.
Yeah, you've touched on that as a team putting in a good shift. Last week showed the importance of the squad all contributing. The substitutes that came on obviously had a big part to play, as did the starting 11. And I suppose with the squad that we've got, we'll be looking for the same on Saturday.
Yeah, I think everybody knows, all the lads know within the squad that we've got to be all at it, because it's not a massive squad, and I think got to lean heavily on the substitutes. And I know the gaffers putting trust in a lot of players, and it is a group effort. That starting 11 might be the one starting, but as you know, players coming on 60, 70 minutes, they can change the game just as much. And I think we saw that last week with obviously Zach coming off the bench and making sure that we got that game into extra time, as well as the other ones coming off the best, Heinze and Max Thompson, putting in great shifts and running about. And I think there's obviously a disappointment when players don't get named in that starting 11, but the group of lads we've got, they can park that and make sure they're doing best for the team. And I think we saw that last week with the effort that boys put in once they're coming off the bench, and really, really helped us change the game.
And I touched on it being a big week for the club. We've obviously got a cup semi-final on Tuesday night, but how important is it that that game is also parked ahead of Saturday's game? That can't really come into the thoughts, can it?
No, I think, once we get to Sunday morning, we can start thinking about that East Kilbride game on Tuesday, which is obviously going to be really exciting for the club. It's a semi-final in a cup competition. Players go through their careers, not potentially get into those sort of stages of things. But as you said, that's got to be parked. That's going to be dealt with on Sunday morning after hopefully a good result on Saturday, because, the league is always going to be a big priority for the club and a big priority for the players. So we've got to make sure that we keep on what we're starting to turn into a decent little run of form in the league, with the last 2 results. So I hope that can continue for us.
Cal, thanks for your time and good luck.
No problem. Cheers, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks.